So I was going to talk about something. My name is Jimmy, by the way. I'm going to talk about something that's maybe not known much about oxygen rooms, and it's the liquid oxygen that you might see. We refer to these as cows, and it's just because they're so heavy and hard to move around, but they're filled with liquid oxygen. And if you look on the top of them, actually this crazy gauge will show you how much is in it. Obviously, a 1 of 1 is full, and there's half, and then there's 0. The most amazing thing about this is liquid oxygen slowly, as it warms, turns into a gas and gets released. And the funny thing, not so funny, is if we buy one of these that's absolutely full and we let it sit here for a week, it will be empty. So what other way would you like to burn money than letting it float into the air? And that's what we do. But we have to have liquid oxygen for our patients. So you'll see we have 3 different cows here, and inside of it is liquid oxygen, so it's extremely cold. And I used to know the exact number. Maybe she can put it, maybe Megan can put it in the comments below or on the video. Look right here. That's how cold it is. So super cold, but it goes into one of these carrying devices, and you'll see these, and then we can deliver a flow to the patient. So we're carrying the liquid oxygen around, and then we're going to allow it to evaporate, and that's what this does. There's lots of tubes in here, allow it to evaporate, and we deliver it as flow to the patient. But there are some common things you have to look out for. Specifically, is this is really cold liquid coming out of here. So refilling these things, if you've never done that before, there's actually a small valve on the sides of most of them, and you open that valve up and you refill them on this aluminum piece right here. So it's very easy. Aluminum piece fits over this. It forces gas in. All of our physical therapists, they know this really, really well because they do this every day. But what we do, just for purposes, we push that on there, and I push it down pressure. This is going to be really loud. I'm not going to fill the whole thing. Open it. And that's going to continue to fill it. It's very loud. What it's going to do, how are you going to know it's full? Well, the problem is this doesn't have a really advanced... Oh, it also makes sounds too when you turn it. But this doesn't have a real advanced way to tell. It actually works off of weight. So if you lift this up, you see this is spring loaded, and the weight shows you how much is in it. So what you would do if it is full, you would hold it, and the weight would be 1 of 1, so it'd be full. Also, if you're filling it, how do you know it's full? Because you're not lifting on the weight. Well, the liquid and kind of the cold oxygen gas will start coming out these little pores right here, and that's how you know it's full. You take about 30-45 seconds on an empty one. So, and they last for varying times, but when you use them a lot, you really know how much is in them and how long they'll last. And you can do it almost by weight. Now, tanks, you can't check those by weight. People will say, "Oh, that's empty. This is empty." Okay, you can ballpark it, but nothing like you can with the liquid. So another thing I wanted to show with a liquid is something that might happen. It's happened probably once a year. If somebody comes into this room and this thing is shooting liquid oxygen straight up into the air, and they're like, "What in the world's going on in there?" It looks like a geyser. I'll show you a little demonstration of it real quick. And it's super easy to fix. If you come in here and everybody's like freaking out and you want to be like, save the day, all you do is grab one of these things. That was actually full, but it wouldn't matter. You just grab one of these things and you place it on here like this, as you would for filling it, and it'll be blasting oxygen out, and you just give it the good old, like we used to do to our Nintendo when it didn't work. And that will fix the problem. So that's exactly how you fix it. And if you've seen me do it before, that's how I do it. So you just beat it 2 or 3 times. And what happens is this little nipple right here actually gets a chunk of ice under it, so it doesn't seal off from the pressure. And when it doesn't seal off, it looks something like this. Let's see if I can get it to... It'll be shooting into the air, something like that, which is kind of dramatic. But just placing that device on there, slapping it a couple times, will actually make it come off. Now that's extremely cold. You can see what it did to this, and we can put my finger kind of like a hot dog and see, but I'm not going to do that. So I like my fingers. but it's extremely cold if that's shooting out of there. So get a respiratory therapist. If you've done that before and you feel comfortable using that, you could do that to knock that off. But that's liquid oxygen. There are some dangers to it, but this is not really labeled by, not as dangerous as highly compressed oxygen that we have all out through the hospital, because this is compressed at 2,200 psi's. So 2,200 psi is what most of these are at full. And so they're way more dangerous than even the coldest of oxygen liquid that we have here. Thanks for watching. If you want to see your own demonstration, get a hold of me and I'll show you. Don't do this at home.